Hey ladies, there's a lot out there about decluttering and minimalism, particularly on YouTube and the internet. It seems to be the latest fashion and the latest fad. I am a mad keen declutterer and I want to give you my 5 tips, my 5 hacks to make sure that if it's something you want to do, that it's right for you. Okay, here's my tip number 1. Don't declutter just to declutter. It feels really good to declutter, and you can get a kind of rush, an endorphin rush, when you simplify your space, and it's going to make you feel like you're making huge amounts of progress. However, because this progress is a really great thing, it can be really dangerous too. You might be motivated to get rid of something that you actually don't want to get rid of in the larger scheme of things, just because you want to keep that feeling, that rush, that onward facing momentum. Obviously, I don't want to encourage you to keep things or an item that isn't useful to you, but nor do I want you to get so encouraged by your progress that you just throw absolutely everything out. So don't declutter just to declutter. It needs to be a mindful process. If you're like me, you want to get on and do something. You've decided to do it, so you're going to do it, and you're going to do it straight away. You become really clear. Well, I know I become really clear and really focused at that moment in time, because it is a great feeling. And you just want to press ahead. You've decided to declutter and it's all going to be great and life's going to turn out much better when you've decluttered. Obviously. However, as we all know, life can get in the way. So if you start a decluttering process, actually you're probably going to make more mess in the short term. Obviously it'll be much better in the longer term. So my suggestion is you pick a targeted area, because otherwise it will spread all around your space, all around your house, your apartment, and it will make it an awful lot worse, and you could lose momentum. Or alternatively, the chaos will just drive you to throw things away that you don't particularly want to get rid of. So my suggestion is that you start with a targeted area, clean up that targeted area, and then move on to the next one. It doesn't actually have to be a location, it can be a series of things. So it could be you want to declutter your books, for example, or remove your digital clutter rather than a specific location. So pick a targeted area or a targeted subject and have a really good go at that first. See how it feels, review the situation before you move on to anything else. What you don't want to do is end up with sort of half-finished projects, because to get rid of the clutter, we need to clear the clutter. We often need to make things a little bit messy first before it becomes that lovely calming space. So declutter your way. Taking the advice of other people is absolutely great. The opinions and their guidance can be enormously helpful, but this is your decluttering process. The items that are important to you will be different to the items that are important to me. We've got different styles and different interests, and there is no one size that fits all. So you can find lots of decluttering zealots out there online who will have you getting rid of everything, including the wallpaper. But decluttering and minimalism comes in all shapes and sizes, from at one end at the extreme of having very few possessions to the other whereby you have simply removed the excess of your possessions and you still have lots of things, but it's your way of decluttering. The whole point is to simplify so that you can have in your life what adds value to you. And if that is a garage full of tools that you have cherished for lots of years, or a huge LP collection, that's absolutely fine. Keep the things that you love and do it your way. The next thing I would say is don't become overly sentimental. I don't want you to get rid of all of your sentimental items, the items that we have some kind of emotional attachment to. I certainly have them, you probably have them too. The bear from when you were a kid that you just absolutely loved, or that first report card from school where you got all of your A's, or something to do with your business life, or maybe your sports or health and lifestyle life. There are things that we all absolutely love that bring value and joy and make us smile as we remember things. So emotional attachments are absolutely true, they're fine, no problem, don't get rid of those things. However, what I am saying is that you need to be level-headed when decluttering. If you're going to declutter or become more minimalist, I actually don't see the point in then self-justifying why you need to keep things. If it adds value, that's absolutely fine, but don't construct some kind of, I was going to say, bullshit reason that you should keep something. You know, the lemon drops you found in your pocket that you had when you were a kid, I'm sure you don't have some sentimental attachment to those. It's back to the fact it's your way, but don't make excuses just to keep something. If you want to keep something, that's absolutely fine, but focus on the bigger picture. If you're looking to do more with less and to become more simplistic and have a simpler life, keeping all of the things that you decided to declutter actually defeats the object. But don't create alternative sentimental reasons just to make yourself feel better. Just saying. Don't let those decluttered items hang around for too long. If you're like me, you'll probably sneak in and get them out again, and that defeats the purpose. So I would suggest, if you're like me, you have a decluttering bin that's around all of the time. You go into a drawer or a cupboard or find an item that you had forgotten about and you haven't used for years or months, then put it into the decluttering bin. You want to get rid of those items relatively quickly, because otherwise they will clutter up your lovely clean decluttered space, which kind of defeats the object, doesn't it? Now the whole point is, if you're going through this process, it's because you want to simplify your life in some way, to have a simpler life, to do more with less, which is fantastic. And certainly recently for a lot of us, we had a huge wake-up call with the big COVID-19 coronavirus scare, and if you haven't used items in that particular period of time, you're probably not going to use them. So think back to when we were all in lockdown and the things you actually used and didn't use, and if you haven't used them, unless it's a seasonal item, you're probably not going to. And now you can actually get rid of them all to donation centres and charities, and they will be very welcoming of all of your lovely decluttered items, things that are not useful to you that can go to good homes elsewhere. One of the other things I would say, which happens to be a bugbear of mine, is I don't actually like sending things to charity. For me, it means that you've not made a mindful choice in the first instance, and we all have stuff that we could do without buying, and we have landfills full of clothes and items that nobody else wants. So be very mindful in your purchases, and if you are decluttering something and you can sell it to somebody else, they will get the value from it and you can reclaim some of the investment you made in that item. So yeah, get rid of those things as soon as you possibly can. That will help clear that wonderful space and it will give you a feeling of calm. Do this not only for your home, but for your business, for your children's play area, for your garage, and actually here's a sneaky one, for your car. I don't know about you, but my car has lots of detritus it shouldn't. So these are my fun tips to make sure that decluttering is for you. I hope you give it a go and I hope you get some benefit from it. So all I'm left to say now is have a great best life, and I will talk with you soon. Bye now.